Welcome back to Insurance Talk Texas. We've got to talk about something that just hit home for North Texas business owners. You saw those late April storms. ES2 tornado in Runaway Bay, baseball-sized hail across Tarrant and Parker counties. Governor Abbott issued a disaster declaration. The question I keep getting from owners across Frisco, McKinney, and Plano is, what happens to my business if a storm shuts my doors for 3 weeks?
This is such an important conversation. Most owners think their commercial property policy handles everything. Building gets damaged, insurance pays to fix it, end of story. But that's not the full picture. Rent doesn't stop, payroll doesn't stop, loans, utilities, none of it pauses just because your doors are closed.
Absolutely right. The coverage that fills that gap is called business interruption insurance, sometimes called business income coverage. This is exactly what the team at Schell Insurance is helping North Texas business owners understand right now. So what is business interruption insurance actually doing for you?
Great place to start. Business interruption insurance replaces the income your business loses when a covered event forces you to temporarily shut down. It pays your rent, payroll, loan payments, ongoing operating expenses, even temporary relocation costs while you're getting back on your feet. So if a tornado tears the roof off your shop in McKinney and you can't operate for 2 months, this is the coverage that keeps you financially whole.
Here's what trips people up. They assume this is automatic in their commercial property policy. Is it?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, and that's the problem. Business interruption usually comes as an endorsement on a commercial property policy, or it's bundled inside a business owner's policy, what we call a BOP. We see owners renew the same policy for years without verifying whether business interruption is included or whether the limit matches their current revenue. That's why a conversation with the Schell Insurance team can be a game changer. Call them at 972-423-4546 and ask them to confirm what's in your policy.
That's a great point. Let's talk about the trigger, because this is where business owners get blindsided. What actually triggers this coverage?
Here's the key thing. Coverage only kicks in when your shutdown results from a covered property loss. In Texas, that means fire, hail, windstorm, tornado, vandalism, certain equipment breakdowns. A hailstorm shatters your storefront and you close for repairs, that triggers it. But here's the part people miss. A pandemic doesn't trigger it. A flood without separate flood coverage doesn't trigger it. A power outage at the utility with no damage to your building, generally not covered unless you have a utility service endorsement.
That coverage follows the cause point is huge. Now, let's get into timing, because there's a waiting period everyone needs to know about.
Yes, so important. Most business interruption policies have a waiting period, typically 48 to 72 hours after the covered event. During that window, the insurance company isn't paying. You're operating on your own cash reserves. Once you clear that waiting period, coverage kicks in for the period of restoration.
And the period of restoration is the window where you're actually getting paid?
Exactly. It's the reasonable time needed to repair the property and resume operations. Most policies cap it at 12 months. Here's what's important right now. After a regional storm event like late April, qualified contractors and roofers are slammed. Restoration timelines stretch out. If your policy assumes a 3-month repair window, but reality is 6 months because every roofer in Collin County is booked, that's a serious gap. This is why working with an independent agency like Schell Insurance matters. They stress test your coverage against North Texas realities.
Let's talk about Texas consumer protections, because policyholders here actually have some teeth.
Right. This is where Texas law helps you. Under the Texas Prompt Payment of Claims Act, Chapter 542 of the Insurance Code, insurance companies have to notify you of acceptance or rejection within 15 business days of receiving all required documentation. They can't just sit on your claim. If they delay or deny unreasonably, you have legal remedies. But to use those protections, you've got to document everything.
Walk us through that. What does documentation look like for a business interruption claim?
This is where owners win or lose claims. You need historical financial records, profit and loss statements, payroll documentation, tax returns. You need to project what your revenue would have been during the shutdown. During the interruption, track everything in real time. Continuing expenses, extra expenses, the timeline of repairs. Open a separate ledger account just for the claim. Assume every number is going to be scrutinized.
Expert level advice. Now, what about the extra coverages most owners don't know to ask for?
3 big ones. First, contingent business interruption, which covers you when a key supplier or customer suffers a loss that hurts your revenue. Second, civil authority coverage, which kicks in when the government blocks access to your business because of a covered event nearby. Third, an extended period of indemnity, which keeps paying after repairs are done while revenue ramps back to normal. The Schell Insurance team can walk you through which endorsements fit your operation.
So important. Let's hit the action steps. What should a North Texas business owner do this week?
3 things. First, pull your policy and find the business income section. Confirm the limit and the waiting period. Second, calculate your actual monthly operating expenses and revenue. Most owners are underinsured because their business grew, but their limit didn't. Third, call the Schell Insurance team at 972-423-4546 or visit schellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com and ask for a coverage review. They serve Frisco, McKinney, Plano, Prosper, Allen, and the greater Collin and Denton County area.
Perfect summary. After the storm season we just witnessed, this is the moment to verify your coverage, not after the next tornado warning. Reach Schell Insurance at 972-423-4546 or schellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. Thanks for joining us on Insurance Talk Texas. We'll see you next week.